Hello everyone, this is Aurelion Sol Guide. Now we'll briefly discuss Aurelion Sol's strengths and weaknesses, followed by the rune and item setup, and then we'll take a look at her abilities. Meanwhile, on the screen, there will be a game where we play Aurelion Sol in the mid lane with this particular build. First, look at the pros. Aurelion Sol has lots of utility built into his kit. They offer him tons of protection and maneuverability. He has tools to stop ganks and protect himself from all-ins. Aurelion Sol is a very strong roaming champion thanks to his Astral Flight W. This will allow you to impact your side lanes with ease after pushing your lane. Thanks to his Breath of Light Q, Aurelion Sol has good poke and good wave clear. This will make pushing the wave and trading much easier in comparison to a lot of champions. And now cons. Aurelion is a mana-hungry champion. Keep a constant eye on your mana bar at all times, otherwise you'll have little kill threat. He will also be vulnerable to ganks and all-ins if he is low. Ensure you have enough mana to use your Astral Flight W, just in case something happens. Aurelion Sol is a very difficult champion to play. You will need to put in a lot of time to master Aurelion Sol. As Aurelion Sol is a roam-heavy champion, it can be difficult for you to roam if your side lanes are not strong. It will also be hard to roam against champions with good pushing power. First Strike is a good rune on Aurelion Sol because Aurelion Sol has power spike in mid-game and reaches full potential at late game. And First Strike rune helps us to reach power spikes earlier. You can proc First Strike with tapping Breath of Light once and stack golds. Arcane Comet. A lot of pro Aurelion Sol players uses this rune because with this rune, you have much pressure compared to First Strike and you can proc by tapping Breath of Light. Summon Airy. Better rune for trades and matchups where you can auto-attack your opponent like Yone, Yasuo. Depending on the opponent's situation and the game's composition, you can make these selections. You can choose Doran's Ring, Health Potion, and Stealth Ward as your starting items. For your early item pick, you can go for Blasting Wand for damage. Up to 20 minutes, you can consider purchasing Rylai's Crystal Scepter, Sorcerer's Shoes, and Archangel's Staff. For your full build, after getting Liandry's Torment recently, you can continue with Jonya's Hourglass and Rabadon's Death Cap. Cosmic Creator passive ability. Aurelion Sol's damaging abilities break down enemies into Stardust, which improves his abilities. Q. Bursts deal an additional 0.031% Stardust stacks % maximum health magic damage. W. Increased distance by a maximum of 62.5% travel it. E. Increased area by a maximum of 15%. And execute a threshold by a max of 2.6%. Air increases area by a maximum of 15%. Values are all dependent on your Stardust stacks. Breath of Light is Q ability. Aurelion Sol breathes Starfire for up to 3.25 seconds, dealing magic damage per second to the first enemy hit and 50% of the damage to surrounding enemies. Each full second of breath on the same enemy deals a burst of magic damage, plus max health magic damage, and absorbs 3 Stardust if they are a champion. Percent damage deals a max of 300 magic damage against jungle monsters. Astral Flight is W ability. Aurelion Sol flies in a direction. While flying, Breath of Light has no cooldown, no max channel duration, and its flat damage is increased by 108, 109, 1 to 10, 1 to 11, 1 to 12%. Takedowns on champions within 3 seconds of damaging them refunds 90% of this ability's cooldown. Recast End Flight early. Singularity is E ability. Aurelion Sol summons a black hole, dealing magic damage per second and dragging enemies towards the center for 5 seconds for a total of magic damage. Enemies in the center below 5%, 2.6% Stardust stacks. Max health die instantly. The black hole absorbs Stardust when enemies die within it, and each second an enemy champion is inside. Falling Star is ultimate. Aurelion Sol plucks a star from the heavens and crashes it into the earth, dealing magic damage, stunning enemies for 1 second, and absorbing 5 Stardust for each champion hit. Gathering 100 Stardust transforms the next falling star into the sky's descent.